Hello. I want to talk about universal God and personal God today. Universal God, or divine being, is the experience when you transcend in your meditation practice, when you go beyond the relative field, beyond the slightest, finest, most subtle thought, and it's yourself experiencing itself by itself. This is divine being, the experience of universal God. When you transcend in your meditation practice, this experience of yourself, of God, infuses your mind and your physiology. And when you return to experience of the relative field, you bring this infusion of God with you into the relative field. When your mind and physiology and your nervous system have transformed enough through repeated experience during your meditation practice of divine being, of God, then you are holding two states of consciousness at the same time. The state of consciousness of yourself, divine being, of God, and the state of consciousness of the relative field of life, waking, sleeping, or dreaming. You hold these two states of consciousness simultaneously. Your mind and your physiology and nervous system are so transformed, they are able to accomplish this. This is the first stage of enlightenment, where you experience simultaneously divine being, or the Lord, along with waking, sleeping, or dreaming. This is experience of the universal God. And the first stage of enlightenment brings this experience of the universal God into your experience here in the world. Eventually, you desire to know the Lord, to be unified with the Lord in God consciousness. This is the second stage of enlightenment. And this union with the Lord unifies yourself, which was separate in the first stage of enlightenment from the relative field, from your activity here in the world. God consciousness, the personal God, unifies yourself with experience of the relative field. It all is one awareness of God alone. This is God consciousness with the personal God, the Lord made manifest as a human being. Krishna, Buddha, Christ, all of the Lord made manifest as human beings, the personal God. Transforms your life here in the relative field from experience of divine being along with experience of the relative field to experience of God alone, where all of your perceptions are of the most subtle celestial value. Your heart is cultured in love and overflowing, and your experience is of God alone. That is our purpose here as human beings, to rise to that level of God consciousness. Thank you, beloved Guru. All glory be to thee.